highway improvement plan for.
Have people sign in.
The awareness.
Yes.
Awareness platform.
Input.
Input. Community input.
So Lee, are you gonna lead us here or Lowell, or how do we do this here?
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. First of all, there's a sign-in sheet for everybody. We had a public input hearing yesterday at Fort Thompson.
Another one on Tuesday. Chairman.
Oh, for Dono, next Tuesday? Okay. So, this one held today, makes two, and we'll have three. So we'll pass that around. And I guess everybody knows what we're working on here. What we've done, we had some of this already kind of completed in regards to maps and inventory lists. Okay, so what we have here, that is a plan guide. That's an example of what Bonham County did last year. That one is just the general guide from the DOT. Okay, Bros did these maps and inventory lists. These, from what I see, are just culverts.
And Lloyd, remember when we approved Rose to do the GPS on those guys?
Yeah,
He only did the big culverts, right? He
Yep.
didn't do any of the smaller culverts.
so we're doing those now.
They're not on. here.
Well,
Well,
they're not.
there was certain culverts that they would do or something, there was.
Yeah, there was a size, remember?
Yeah, there
that?
was, yeah.
And bridges.
They were like 24 inches.
It's just-
24 above.
is on the report. Anything under 24 inches, they didn't cover.
Okay,
Okay, I knew there was,
yeah, takes a while to remember that
Oh,
stuff.
it's been a while.
So Lowell's going around, he's checking the smaller culverts and he's getting a location and he's getting pictures of them. And he'll send me the pictures, we'll have them on file here at the courthouse and the computer so that we can have those added. We don't want those left out.
But the condition you've been finding,
Everything that Lowell has seen that's on Brose's list, any of them that say poor, they are poor.
They are poor. They are rusted out and they're crushing in, and when they say they're poor, it's a true,
Do they have any good ones?
oh yeah.
How many culverts do you suppose we have in the county?
Total,
Yeah, 1,000, probably more than that.
oh, I don't think it'd be 1,000.
No, but it's,
We have, what, 500 miles of road, 250?
About 200 to 220.
2, 4,
Are you sure of that number?
6, 8,
What's at least that much, because
12, 14.
it was like 222.40 is what Kenny always said.
I couldn't remember myself because I was getting it confused with another county. I know Brule County has 500.
Yeah,
There's about 34 from what I count. And that does not include the small ones. That's the ones that Brose has listed. So,
yeah.
The small ones are what Rose has listed?
No,
The big,
big ones,
okay, this is what Rose has listed.
right.
Okay.
Now, they do have bridges on here as well, but not all of them. I don't have much faith in their bridge. See, the Larson Bridge isn't on here at all. But those, you remember, back in March, we were provided this list. This is all the bridges. And the Larson Bridge is the one that's listed as poor.
Right.
There's seven bridges in the county that we're responsible for.
and then there was that one over there to Wellman's that's not on the list.
Well, it should be,
It
Is
should
it
be,
not
I
the
think
big one?
it is.
yes.
No, remember, I thought that was not that wooden one that went across there, because I asked you about that.
There's no
before.
wooden one.
It's the good one.
Is that the one that's out in the middle of his field?
It's,
We went
it's
out
the
there a
good one.
couple, 2-3 years ago during that big
Yes.
flood, whatever it was.
2.5 miles south and 1.9 east of Ham Valley. That's that one. That's the one that's listed as good.
Down here?
No.
No, that one is
South
not
and
our
east.
bridge.
Well, see, that's the one I'm
That's
referring
the
to.
township.
Okay. So what we've been asked for, I talked to Brian McGinnis at District 3. They work on these things. He's offered to help. It's been kind of a spur of the moment thing. It's been kind of rough on those folks. Greg Powell at Rose has helped us out. He sent us all these electronically. I talked to Doug at the DOT. He instructed me that if we have something turned into them by the 15th, we can always tweak it later. So with that being said, Brian's guidance for today was to come up with a list of bridges or culverts and assign a year to them. What we're gonna do, either replace or repair, and assign a year to it,
Right.
and assign a price.
So does that mean it has to be in the column of that year we assign it to?
Yes, we did this kind of roughly yesterday.
Mhm.
We didn't, there's no year column on here, but we can certainly do that.
But I
We
mean,
can even
on
do it
that,
today.
on that one, your blank sheet that you're filling out, there's years on there.
Yes, there is,
So-
but that is for the revenue resources table. That's just revenue.
Okay,
That's just money on that.
okay.
But what we can do, we can even Rude and Krug go down this list and put 2023, 2024, and so on. And then I can make this prettier later. We didn't have a whole lot of time for pretty, so. Assign a year, assign a price. Greg with Rose is gonna give us a roundabout cost estimate on these culverts based on their length, their size.
Right.
And we told him we needed it, what he said, a couple weeks, what I said, how about a couple of weeks?
You just decided.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to do that to him, but
I like it.
that's the way it worked. So he's gonna see if he can find somebody to help him out and get costs, much like you see on here, for bridges, for culverts. Then what we do, once we get them on the list, assign a year to them, assign a cost, they then will be prioritized because they're listed by what year we want to replace them, locate them on the map, and send it to Brian,
Now, you said at Rose or
District 3.
District 3?
Yep. And Brian will review it and then it would go on to, then we have to adopt it. And then it'll go on to the DOT. Doug, there's a general email. He said you can send it to me too, but just have something by the 15th. We can always tweak it, update it. Just have something to me by the 15th. So
So how many little culverts have you looked at so far?
I've looked at about half of them,
Okay,
and I
And
would
that's how many?
about 30 of them, 30, 40 of them. And I would say a third of them, a quarter to a third of them need replacing.
so we'll spread that over 5 years.
5-year plan.
According to their condition, I suppose.
And we got them prioritized on the map of critical, poor, what's the other, fair, and then green.
and that's the Bros ones, the ones that Bros didn't list that you're looking at now. We'll see if they can add them.
Right.
Well, you can add them to your list when you do your new.
Yep, as long as we identify them. I don't know what sequence they used for their identification number, but we can assign anything to them, put them on the list, and I don't think they'll be left out at all. They'll have to be mapped. But what Lowell's doing when he goes around looking at these small culverts now, he's taking the map, like you see here, and he's marking it with pencil. Like Rose
Show you
did.
pictures here quick.
All right,
He's got pictures, so,
You can go District 3 could do something.
sure. Yep.
Once you give it to Brian, and Gary, the cookies are good.
You didn't want apple cider, did you? You want a
Oh,
coffee?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll
Apple
take what you
cider?
got. Yeah,
Cook
thank
on.
you.
Did you make cookies?
My mother-in-law's oatmeal cookie recipe, best I've ever come across.
Okay,
Just get the ones on the bottom there.
oh, sure.
That's the corrosion inside. Open back up. That's just about it through.
Yeah. So, right, done. Let's see.
That's all I got. so
Yeah,
far.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I did, we filled up a list yesterday of known culverts and the Larson Bridge. Okay, the Larson Bridge is on here. The cement slab, Brian said leave it off because that's already been bid and the work should have been done.
It's not our.
He said leave,
So,
I think you heard too, I think he said leave it off.
right.
And there's plenty of other projects
Yeah,
besides that point, so I've got the Larson Bridge then up there on the top. I went through, I got a full page of culverts that are marked poor on the Bros inspection. And then at the very bottom, I added one more bridge, and I chose the one that's the highest price. Okay, there's the Larson Bridge 1.4, and then I put this one on there. It's the third one down, that's at 1.3. So to get a list, I think you want to select your biggest projects.
well, when you select the Larson Bridge first, though?
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yep.
So that must be on the Three Heights Road?
No,
Eleven west. and
It's
6
the one that's-
Third one down is the second choice.
This is the Larson.
I know that.
Oh.
I'm talking about the one he listed as second.
It's last on the
This
list.
one right here,
It's the
1.4 million.
No,
Where is it?
the one he listed as second
Here.
is this third one down. It's,
11 miles west.
This is the cement slab, I think, so that's gonna come off, but there's a bridge replacement, that's Larson. Okay? And I bumped that up to 2 million.
Mhm.
So now we got all culvert. There at the very bottom, I put the next bridge.
That's
I
that third
chose-
one.
I chose that one.
Okay.
That's just, you know.
On the Three Heights Road if it's 11 miles west.
11 west and 6. So that's what I did.
Okay.
And for all practical purposes, we could leave it that way, just, we could prioritize this right now. And once the costs come in, then I can put that together and send it off. The only other thing to me that was, this killed me. This is the revenue source table. So I got some help from my friends and 513,000 for general fund. And then we estimated the motor vehicle license. We estimated the wheel tax as it's stated on the resolution. You know, so much max per vehicle. And that's so many vehicles. Got that from Janice. And then the annual STIP, there's 87,000 in that fund. So as far as the state funds down here at the bottom, I'm gonna need a little more help on that, but this is, I've sent this to Brian and, it's a start, so
was it telling you?
it's telling you where the money's coming from. Some of the money that you're gonna use, like your wheel tax, what that's gonna generate, motor vehicle licenses, money coming in
To help pay
to help
our
pay.
portion of
Right.
this.
Right.
Property tax is also on there, isn't it?
Yep, that's the first one. So you can pass that around, then you go up incrementally 3% a year, which I've done that there. And I'm sure there'll be more guidance coming from Brian and this is what Von Holm did last year. So.
Well, how is the money coming in compared to our expenditures right now?
From the highway budget, As far as this is concerned, we haven't really spent any. This is part of the 5-year
Yeah,
improvement
but I
plan.
mean, you've got a 5-year plan, but we gotta match our expenses to the income.
Right, and I think we'll
5-year
talk
plan.
about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Do you have a copy of the
What are we
budget?
getting for wheelchair? What is the estimate?
where did we get that, Sherry?
Well, I know what it is.
2,172 vehicles licensed in the year. We guessed at how many were trucks, which would be 20, and how many were cars, which would be 12. And that's the figure that we came up with.
2172, let's see.
We guessed 30 trucks, and we're probably low on the trucks. But,
And those were at
20.
2020 max.
so that was 6,000.
600.
30.
Yeah.
And then the cars and light trucks,
So the 12,
$12 max.
and that was
2172.
21,000?
No, 2,100.
1,000.
Yeah,
And the trucks were 6,000. So it's 20, close to 28,000.
Right. Both combined out of 26,304.
You should have more than that if you had 21,700 on one and 6,000 on the other.
Well,
Well,
we also have a plan.
right, but it's to get the state funding for the bridge. is what we do. You know, obviously, the wheel tax isn't gonna pay all of our 20%, but
30,000, what did you get there?
30 trucks times
Oh,
$20 a truck is 600.
okay. Thank you.
Check my math.
But I think we're light on the trucks. I really do.
Well,
I don't
I-
think more than 50. I just, but
we don't know yet.
no, we just had to go take a guess.
So when I give you this, anything that's gonna be for gold or the
No, it's,
start with 201. And I'm anything that's quartiles for one over. I'll show you what that
could
means.
probably split it out just like that.
So if we want to, we'll refine these numbers and I'll get those turned in. If we want to prioritize this list now, or if we want the committee to do that, I mean, we're not gonna pass anything today, we've already decided that. So we're gonna have to meet again to do that.
But we shouldn't need much more on the committee part. It should just be now that we present it to them at the meeting, then we should be
Done.
done. And it's up to them.
Yep. So we should prioritize our list. Make sure we
The only thing we've got left to do is the culverts.
Yes,
The little culverts.
the little ones.
Yeah.
And we could,
And you're gonna have to just take a guess at that anyway. I mean, don't you think?
Well, there's not gonna be enough time to try and find each and every one of them in
Yeah,
that time span.
and that's what we talked about that last night, you know, there's no point in running out until midnight.
But if he thinks he's got 30 in
30.
staff,
Each
you know,
budget has
is 60 a reasonable figure?
Or round it up and go to 100.
But then when you do-
Culverts, isn't there?
Well, that's all I've looked at.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
all
lot
I've
of
looked at,
101
but
funds.
there's, I would
And
say there's at
everything's
least 500
separated
culverts
out. You'll kind of see it in there.
in the county.
You know, every road,
Every
or
day,
every mile
every
has
day.
a culvert
But then when you
somewhere.
get
Oh,
into
yeah.
the 201s.
If you got 250 miles, you got at least 250, I would think.
Right,
So, but I'll give you
In fact,
everything. so you
most
can
times
have it.
every half
So what you
mile.
have on here
right.
So if they're there, they've got to
Let's
be
see what it
maintained,
was.
they shouldn't be left off the list because they cost money too.
We're gonna have to put
I finally
like
got
a,
be on a list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
any
a
questions
third,
regarding
or
that?
I don't
That's
know,
about all
fourth
I
of them on.
I don't understand the rest of
Is
it.
that where you come up?
And see, this will cycle itself, you know, if we replace the Larson Bridge, you know, at 50 years, it'll come back on the list. We just kind of keep it.
So, that's Sherry.
So that's where I'm at. That's what we've done.
Well, Lowell or you and Lowell, I don't know how, but you should be the one, if Lowell's out looking at the culverts, he's probably the one that'll prioritize them mostly. I mean, that doesn't do, for the commissioners, we sit here and we don't know.
Well, we
Right,
asked him when he
right.
writes them down to do that. Say
Take
what they
pictures,
are
take pictures
and say,
and locate them on the map.
say 1, 2, 3, 4, one
And
being good,
condition them,
four being bad, or vice, whatever.
right,
So that you've got a code there that you can look back and say, this.
right.
And if you've already inventoried about 30 of them, you know, we could keep going and what we have.
Right.
By the time we should have this turned in, then we'll
Right.
go with that. And,
Use that to
well, yeah, I mean, we can update.
educate him.
We have to update it every year anyway.
Right.
So,
But we'll finally have locations and a map.
yes,
So we won't have this problem again.
yes.
And then, like she said, when you get that map with those culverts on there, the little ones and the big ones, then District 3 will
That won't be hard. They've already got it in.
do a map with all of that.
Even if you had those GPS things, I think they could just put it in there.
Greg Powell sent a link last night. You click on the link and it opens up a map of the county and you can find these, each one of these. And if you click on that, it'll tell you the information about it. It's pretty slick.
Yeah,
But all the big culverts are on here and they're color coded, critical, poor, fair, good. So the culverts are on here. I mean, there's a bridge here, but
the only problem we got is the small culverts, we got everything else covered.
and I'd like to verify the bridges, you know. That one list right there, there's 7 bridges. Well, I don't see 7 bridges on it.
Well, I can tell you where they're at right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can tell you where they're at.
See, there's one here, but I don't think they have them listed on here, good, fair, poor, or otherwise, so.
Yeah,
So there's Harley and Don's and Larson's,
two, two
Bumpy's
on,
got a bad one, right?
yeah,
And
two
then-
on Knipling's, one on the Reiss Road and one at the Knipling Place.
Yeah.
And Jerry's
Right,
Place.
right,
And one west,
One west, yeah,
west on that same
on
road.
Allen's Road, Allen Knipling Road.
no, that's actually,
Jerry's.
no,
Jake Donald?
Donald's.
Donald's Road,
Oh,
okay,
right, right.
yeah, there's one down there, so,
So you're already 7.
right.
And what did you say? Where's the one you said isn't on here?
Well,
This,
the poor one, that's the Larson Bridge, right?
Yeah.
I don't see it anywhere on this.
it's gotta be,
That's because it's already in the system, or we're working on it, I suppose.
This is
This is our map. This should be on there.
I would think, I don't know, that's a question for Greg. I
Are
haven't
any,
seen it lately.
are any, some bridges are on here, but you don't think all?
Yeah, there's one right here, let's see, 093030
I don't understand your
1191.
numbers, my friend. You'd stop
But
it.
then this is the Bros number, if
What
that's
your numbers
IMAG.
are,
then
and that's
it's not gonna be-
Tried last night, I printed it out on what I.
this is for culverts,
It's
not
on
bridges.
361st,
I
This
had
is just
Janice
culverts,
and-
not bridges.
that's what I.
So 361st
Trying to
is-
figure out where all that
361st.
Well, that's
is.
Wayne's?
That's Wayne's,
Yeah,
that's Wayne's.
so that's at
Out there,
Elvira.
It's all out there.
Yeah, that's the one that's on here, that's the only bridge I see.
Huh.
Bros is this, so we'll have to get that all fixed and figured out and taken care of. And like I say, yesterday, we pretty much prioritized these when we did this. And all the culverts, I mean, we just went down and picked all of them before.
So these maps came from,
These are Bros.
why don't they say
Well,
those on?
these are bros, these are IMAX. No, I guess, yeah, right.
Those are bros.
Those are bros.
Okay. All right. So those are Bros and this is Bros?
That's I make.
That's
right
I
there.
This is I made.
Yep.
So that's why these aren't
Matching.
there.
Right.
Now, this, and I'm not so sure we're gonna need this, this is, only half of the county, but this is a weight restricted bridges west half. And this was an IMEG thing, so that would go hand in hand with what you see there, and I would, just haven't had a chance to reach out to them yet. So as far as the bridges go, we may already have them too, from IMEG, it just wouldn't be on these.
It won't match up because they're,
Two
You're probably going to have to go through those and match this to the.
Yeah, from one
On the
source,
maps,
yeah,
because that's our best.
from one source, yes.
right.
But remember, District Three gave us our highway maps, that's what we prioritized. So they've got all of this stuff on here, you just need to get.
I was told that
Yes, and put it
too.
all together.
We don't need to hire anybody to do this because District Three's already got it.
Very painful.
Yep.
Free. Just have my life there, that's all.
Paying for it, free.
So that's where we're at
Yes,
with it.
it's a- they dues to be there.
So if there's any public input on any other projects. Maybe we'll list these out here.
On the big culverts, what percentage of them are poor?
Oh.
What'd you say, Lola? The one that's that 80-foot.
About
80 foot over on the county, down on 238th Street, down on south of Bill Stones.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where I took the picture where it's just about 8 through and it's crushing down. And
Oh, the culvert you're talking about.
yeah, they're
How big are those culverts?
Big.
On your map, or on your deal that shows it.
This is big.
Like 8 foot maybe?
It's that one, that's
Those
that's
are
bridges.
Those are bridges.
Yeah, oh, those are bridges.
Just a second till I get to that one. No, be the last one. No, it's southwest, what is it? 238, here we go. Right here.
Yeah, but there is a,
But you also said this one over here.
no, that one's okay, I rechecked
Well,
that
that's the
one.
one you fixed.
Yeah, I thought it was bad, but
Okay.
no, you had a right up here. Here's how big they are. 80, the span inches is across is 83 inches. The rise is 57 inches and they're 80 foot long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're huge.
That's,
They're 5 foot tall and
what, $20,000 for each culvert or what? Yeah.
basically, yes.
Didn't we have that one on our list?
Oh, yeah.
What's the last four numbers?
81817. 22231817.
2224.
No,
Yeah, we, see, this
Oh, I
one's
see it.
2223 and this is 2224.
what's there, two of them together?
There's two of them together.
Okay, and they're both 80 foot long?
Yes, they're side by side.
Owie.
Yeah, 3817 and 4817.
No. 22231817.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yep.
Okay.
They're right on the top.
Yeah, they're okay, so they're where they belong.
Yep. And then after that's the bridge, that's poor you see right there.
Okay.
So I think the list is pretty much, I think we're pretty good with that, if everybody else is, but it's these, the numbers. We have a new resources table, here it is. And I think Brian will be able to help us with that a little further.
So you'll have this done what, in this next month though?
No,
We gotta
next
get it
week, because it has to be into the state.
done. Remember we were
By
gonna
the
do it on the
15,
15th?
by next weekend.
Yeah, So we've got to meet like Thursday of next week
And
to
finalize.
approve it.
Because it's being advertised right now. Maybe 2 weeks.
Tomorrow's the second time that it's gonna be advertised in the public paper.
I think technically it was in yesterday. They do it on Mondays.
No, they print on Tuesdays.
They print on
Tuesdays.
Right on
Okay, so it's
Tuesdays
print
and goes
today.
out to public on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So we're, how do we do it? So we maybe could go over the budget a little bit on it, especially this road and bridge. Refresh our memory. Compare how we're doing. I thought maybe just go down, do the 2022, the current year, and then the amount we asked for.
So that's what I just gave you guys too, that too. So he's on the 101s.
Pardon?
So we get a copy of that?
Well, it's in
Is
the
that what I have
budget.
there?
All I have
I
is
can
my
make more
budget.
copies. Give me the 101s,
I
201s.
was, have to bring some.
Just need the certain pages or whatever.
And this is for 2023.
It's all on here. See the date.
Okay.
Yes. You want me to go ahead, Lee, or you wanna read these off,
No,
or,
you go ahead.
okay? I thought it'd just kind of refresh your memory here, because I put this in my case and I don't look at it for a while. But okay, in 2022, we spent, no, in 2021, sorry. We spent 58,521. This year so far, we've spent 50,381, and we budgeted 100,000.
What was the line item?
First one.
I don't have it.
It's coming.
Sorry,
All right. That's salaries.
yes. FICA, there's not much change, I mean, nothing we can do about that. Road and Bridge, Medicare, I'd say that's pretty set. Workman's comp, health insurance.
Okay.
In 2021, we spent 15,796. And so far this year, we've spent 6,353. The budget is 32,000. Unemployment, that's pretty much it. Liability insurance going on down. Yeah. 2021, we spent 6,381. So far this year, we spent 5,884. We budgeted 5,000. Professional services, in 21, we spent 92,304. So far this year, we spent 16,993.
Is that on gravel hauling? Is that for
No.
professional- What's that
No.
professional service?
No, that's,
Professional services?
Well, we've had to shift a few things around, so
Yeah, but I can't remember what we spent 92,000 on last year for professional
I'll have
services.
to look it all up.
well, we had a lot of gravel hauling. I think that is in there.
It is, some of it is, yep.
That's what I asked.
Okay, road and bridge rentals, that's a tractor, I'm sure.
Yeah,
$9,350 last year. So far this year, we haven't paid it. We budgeted $2,000. I don't know if that's gonna work out or not. We are already on our second tractor, aren't we?
yes.
Oh, we gotta do that and stuff.
Road and bridge repairs and maintenance. 21, we spent 36,237. This year we spent 63,285 and we budgeted 20,000, so we're kind of in the hole there. Road and bridge supplies. In 21, we spent 85,450. This year we spent 22,163. We budgeted 70,000. Road and bridge travel, $450 in 21. This year we spent 7,496, and we budgeted 1,000. We're kind of in trouble there too.
But when you go to look at these, always remember to work from the bottom to the top. So when you look at your bottom, take your budget and start from the bottom
I
and
don't
start.
have that page for some, I thought I would have
Yeah,
it.
you do. Go to the bottom here. There's-
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Okay.
so I understand what you're saying when you're saying in this line item, in this, but if you start working from your bottom,
All
right, Rex? We talked about this before. So if you work from the bottom up, because this all can float within the bottom line. So if
Okay.
you look at your bottom line first,
Capital outlay, you're saying? Or,
No.
It'd be
Total road and bridge.
turn a couple.
40, I don't have no other page.
Yeah, you do.
No,
There,
I
right
don't.
there.
I'll get it for him.
Domestic use.
there, I'll get it to him. There.
No road, is it?
Yes.
Okay, look at this
Well,
one.
he doesn't have the same one.
Yeah.
Some of your numbers.
This
go
bottom
on.
Yeah.
figure down here is what she's talking about.
There you go.
For the years.
Well, here, you take
That's
that.
the
So
other-
this is,
That's the. other-
Why,
There
this
was-
is
why
the
you
new-
Lee to help me through this?
this is your guys, you guys just approved these and we
Yeah.
all put them into the newspaper. So and we had 2 public meetings on this, so
Yeah.
nobody should have surprises from any place on this. But if you start from your bottom and you start working your way up is your best way to work on budgets. And so I understand what you're saying, might be deficit here, might be high on this. This is kind of a floating document. So if we're getting low on one thing, you can kind of change it into another, as long as we don't have to work on this bottom end of things.
I see.
So once the bottom gets negative, that's when we're gonna have to call and have the commissioners come, and then we'll have a special meeting, and you have to do a contingency plan and all that. I've been here long enough to know, we've never done a contingency plan for,
No,
So-
we used to be called in on December and then fill in the gap.
Yeah.
So
I
that was
know,
their
I know.
contingency
But
plan.
I think with all the things I hear, it's good to go over this
I agree,
and
100%.
have, so everybody understands that we are within our parameters.
Right now, we sure are, and it's close to the end of the year, so I think it's great to look at these things,
It's your responsibility.
definitely. And we looked at this again last month, because we had a public meeting, everybody was able to come, put their input in. But I think you definitely start at your bottom,
All right.
and then,
Let's have Lee lead this
okay,
the rest of the way.
So then Deborah, this is telling us, I need help from Deborah. 2021, we were at 690,769.
Right.
And that's
That
not
was
in the hole.
Right.
no, we weren't in the hole.
We budgeted that.
That's what we spent, and then this, so far this year, we spent 218,377.
And we budgeted.
And we budgeted 512.
No,
Yes.
well, for this year, yes.
Yes.
And then for 2023, we
Okay,
budgeted 513.
now Deborah,
Uh-huh,
help me out here if I'm wrong, but now our tax call, if I remember right, last year was 340,000, or how far off am I?
tax call.
Yeah, for new taxes.
The levy.
That was the one.
You should have that
Yeah.
figure on your, one you just
Spreadsheet.
prepared
Right
for
there.
this,
That right there.
for your
So do you have
report.
that one?
That should be on.
Don't you have a revenue
Yep.
figure for next year? Or for this year?
Levy should be in there.
On your sheet, leave it
Okay, I know
in
what
for
you're
the
saying.
culvert repair, or culvert,
It is.
the one that has the 4 rows of figures at the top. Yes, you got it, there you go.
General funds property tax,
That's it.
513.
That's general funds, that's not road
So
and
here's
bridge.
levies right here.
350.
Okay, it was off 10,000. But that's, we don't spend everything that we budget for. That's why we can do this. Otherwise, our taxes would be 2-3 times as high.
Right.
If we spend.
If
If
we,
we spent the whole budget,
right,
that's why we can't do that.
So at 218,377.11.
We're
Pretty
about,
good.
Sure, less than 300,000
Yeah.
left.
we're about
And you're over
35%.
halfway through. That's good.
yeah,
So-
well, we're,
Almost closed out here. couple
Yeah.
more months.
Yeah. And we're done with road, technically, you're not doing gravel anymore, right?
No.
So,
No,
We got gravel, I mean, that, if we get some moisture on that, those roads will be awesome, if we just get some moisture, otherwise we might lose.
well, we can get there. I mean, we're
Yeah.
getting there. Little at a time.
very little.
But we won't need to haul a lot of, we shouldn't have to
No.
hire any hauling done
No.
next year.
No.
I'm working on culverts.
Yeah, culverts next year. Well, that's the way this goes, it's just like farming, it ain't one thing, it's the next.
Right.
So you wanna go, is this good enough, or you wanna go over any more of this?
Well, no, I think it's good to look at each department, each of the categories to kind of see where you're at, but I agree with Deborah, you look at the bottom line, and if you see something skewed there, then you can go back up and find it. I
right,
think is
and
what you're-
these we can I hate to use the word manipulate because but
it's a bad
this
word.
you can kind of switch some things around without a commissioner
Approval.
approval. I can't do anything bottom line without a commissioner approval because that would not be, because that's money's moved. This is just moved.
You got
Within-
total budget.
categories.
Right, within how I'm able to move. I can't do anything with
With the
bottom
bottom
line.
line.
So,
Deborah, I have a question on, repairs and maintenance. In the amount expended, it's 63,000 and there's 20,000 budgeted. Now,
right, and that's probably something that I'll have to switch
but
around because
what is
I would have to look
the
and see.
most of that for?
Yeah.
Is that where the gravel hauling went in?
It could be because I just looked at that yesterday and we knew that we were gonna have to switch. We figured this was probably a mistake right within there.
Supplies and materials.
So,
And the professional services, what does that go for? Do we have any idea?
Well, we figured that's
That
for our
was-
gravel
that was
hauling.
For,
But if
Our
hauling is down
engineering
here in
firm.
repairs and maintenance.
Oh, and our
Oh,
engineering firms.
Okay,
engineering firm.
all right.
So now, that COVID money, can we use this gravel hauling for that we've done?
Again, I was told the guidance I've gotten is to use it, classify it as wages.
Okay,
that way
And
we
it's
can
one and
shift.
done.
If we put it all as wages, we can shift it.
Then we can do whatever we want with it.
Well, are we gonna have anything that we're not gonna be able to cover? I mean, we have salary to cover the whole thing. Are we gonna have anything left?
2-year plan, we will.
No, I'm talking about if they gave us 200,000 and our
That's
salary
400,000.
covered the two. I'm just using the example.
All right,
Do we have enough salary to cover the total amount, so we don't have to nickel and
Right.
dime all this?
Well, and I think we gotta have it used by what, 2024,
The first one.
2025, something like that. So if we calculate out our wages and it would exceed the 381,000, then yeah, we would have it used for wages.
But Shirley would
But-
take care of one of them without 190.
Because I do.
Now
know
you
that
understand what she
we-
means
we
when
had
she
to
says
have
that they
a
pay the
certain amount
salaries and then they can do whatever they
obligated
want
or
with the
whatever.
COVID funds.
Otherwise,
Because it would
you weren't
replace
eligible
general
for the
fund.
second.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna get the second part of this, right?
As far as I know, and we
Okay.
can't apply for that until 12 months after we receive the first, so the
But you also
treasury,
have to have so much of that obligated or pulled back too.
Yeah.
And another funding did just come through in regards to all that as well. It looks like we could get another 51,000 and then the year after that, 51,000. Lee hasn't, or I haven't had a chance to even look at it. We're kind of getting bombarded with all these grants
It's
and
the time of
everything
year.
else, yeah.
It's the time of year.
So, we're just gonna have to shut the doors and figure some of this out, but another 100,000 will possibly be
Okay,
applied.
so then once we get that money back and we put it back into the general fund, we can spend it on anything.
Right.
But we have to
All
show
right.
so much of that.
all right,
and we've been working with Doug DeBoer, he's already done his. He moves it out of the fund, there's a motion made at a board meeting to move the funds, and we haven't done that yet, but, we've been working with.
But
Doug.
now, am I right that our tax call for this coming year is less than it was last year?
The property tax.
Tax call, that's the
That's-
350, right?
Okay, this.
That was
But
350
this is
last
for
year.
23, this is for 23.
But we're up again that limit in the, road and bridge fund, or general fund, we're at only allowed to have 140,000.
Okay,
Where there's a limit and we will be gigged for that. However, the gig doesn't bother me that much unless we would go to court for overtaxing.
okay. I'll have to look at that a little closer.
Well, I
Didn't
don't
know
think
that.
they increased anything.
You can only be taxed, I mean, you can't, in assessments, you can't have more than what you actually spend or
No, we're allowed so much,
so much.
but we're way above that limit,
Yeah, yeah,
way above.
okay.
10 times.
We haven't changed anything for the last couple of years though.
Well, we took a less tax call last year because of
And
it.
I believe the year before we did it too. You bet.
No. No, we didn't.
You
We
bet
should
one
have,
of the
but we
first-
didn't.
you bet when we were here, that was the first time we did it.
We'll have to pull that one up
Deborah, do you
because I don't have, that wasn't a year I was doing it, so I'd have to pull that up and.
Do you have a sign up sheet?
Well, we need, all I'm really interested in here is our general trend, that we're
No, that's for this meeting.
okay here. All right, are we done with this?
That looks good.
Yeah.
So then we'll,
We'll recess till 1 o'clock, right?
okay, but then what,
We need to make
we need
to have a special meeting to approve this 5-year plan
on the 13th.
on the 13th of next week.
All right,
So whatever we do, we have to,
call me if you can't seem to remember.
we gotta adjourn this meeting though, because in order to approve this, it's gotta be another meeting.
Yeah.
So
All right, that's fine. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
I thought we were.
No, you're in the public input meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we don't really need to adjourn this, no.
No.
all right. Please. All right, okay, what's the meeting, day of the next meeting? Thursday?
Thursday, the 13th.
The 13th.
What time you guys wanna-
As far as I know, I just looked, I don't have anything that day, so whatever
Well,
works.
10 o'clock then.
Okay. We can do that.
Lee, do you have that written down?
Yeah,
All right,
10 o'clock, October 3rd.
Hello.
Okay, got that down.
Just a minute.